Hello everybody. May I first introduce myself? I'm Quinn Cox, Deputy Mayor of Haverhill, and I'm going to guide you through tonight's ceremony. Thank you so much for being here on this moving and sad, but hopefully thought-provoking occasion. We're here to officially welcome the Knife Angel, the national monument against violence and aggression, to Haverhill. To formally welcome you to this event, it gives me great pleasure to invite to the stage the Lord Lieutenant of Suffolk, Lady Clare, Countess of Euston.
Good evening, everybody. As the Lord Lieutenant of Suffolk, I am the representative of His Majesty the King, and I'm so honoured to be in attendance at this civic welcome for the National Monument Against Violence and Aggression, the beautiful Knife Angel. Although we've been brought together by tragic circumstances, thank you, I'm too small, it is my sincere wish that we use this opportunity in Suffolk to recognise that our communities are the heartbeat of our society. They are where we live, work, and raise our families. By fostering strong relationships with our neighbours and by engaging in open dialogue about difficult subjects and situations, we can create a network of care and of love for each other. I've been in Haverhill today visiting the Arts Centre, and just two of the thriving business of which this town can boast. We have so much to be proud of here in Haverhill. I visited in July when you hosted Suffolk Day, and I'm so impressed with the get up and go and the strong sense of community that this town excels in, and that is what makes Haverhill a Suffolk town through and through, and such a worthy host of the Knife Angel. I also want to pay a huge tribute to Darryl, Harley's father, who is so bravely here with us today. And Darryl, it was because of your efforts that the angel came. So thank you very, very much. Thank you all.
Thank you, Lady Clare. I hope you had a pleasant and insightful day visiting Haverhill with the Deputy Lieutenant Stephen Singleton, MBE, who I welcome as well. We are now lucky enough to welcome to the stage Yvonne Gilchrist Mason, the High Sheriff of Suffolk.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this civic welcome of the Knife Angel, the National Monument Against Violence and Aggression in Haverhill. Knife crime is not an isolated problem. It is a symptom of deeper issues: poverty, social exclusion, lack of opportunities, and sometimes just sheer hopelessness. But while the causes are complex, the consequences are simple and devastating. Every knife taken to the street is a potential weapon of destruction, a tool that can transform anger into tragedy in the blink of an eye. We know that every victim of knife crime is someone's child, friend, or neighbour with hopes, ambitions, and futures. Futures that are stolen in an instant. And with every life lost through knife crime and violence generally, our society loses a part of itself. Harley Barfield lost his life in Haverhill in a fatal stabbing in 2023. And it is this tragic event that precipitated the Knife Angel's visit to our town. We will hear more about the harrowing impact this terrible event has and continues to have on his parents and relatives shortly. But we are not powerless. There is much we can do to turn the tide against violence. It starts with education. Education at home and education in the schools. Teaching our young people that carrying a knife does not make them stronger or safer. In fact, it puts them at greater risk. We need to work together to change the culture, to make it clear that knives have no place in our schools, streets, or homes. Community initiatives are crucial, and we must support programs that provide young people with alternatives, giving them the skills and opportunities to choose a path away from crime. Sports, arts, education, and mentoring programs can all play a role in guiding our youth towards a better future. Law enforcement must also be part of the solution, but it cannot be the only answer. We need a holistic approach that combines policing with prevention. This means more support for mental health services, more engagement with communities to rebuild trust and cooperation. Above all, we need to foster a sense of hope. We must show our young people that there is a future worth striving for, that they are valued and they have a place in society. Hope is the most powerful weapon we have in the fight against knife crime. Let us be clear. In Haverhill and in Suffolk, more widely, we cannot stand by and watch as lives and families are destroyed. We must act with urgency, compassion, and determination. Knife crime is not inevitable, it is preventable. Together we can create safer streets, stronger communities, and a future where every young person and every family can live without fear. Please, God, let this come to Suffolk. Thank you.
Thank you indeed for your words, High Sheriff. Now, please welcome to the stage the Mayor of Haverhill, David Smith.
We welcome the Knife Angel to Haverhill. Haverhill is a town known for its safety and community spirit. Some may be surprised to see such a powerful symbol here, as we are not typically associated with violence. However, the events of January 2023 served as a stark reminder that no town can be complacent. The incident that shocked our community has left deep and lasting effects. The presence of the Knife Angel allows us to stand united, declaring unequivocally that violence has no place in our town. We have never accepted violent behaviour, and we never will. This isn't a town where people habitually carry knives. There is no danger to be afraid of unless we create it ourselves by carrying a knife. As we host this important monument, I encourage everyone to engage with it, share your thoughts and feelings with friends and family, participate in activities, and reflect on the message it brings. Let us honour Harley by ensuring that such a senseless tragedy never occurs again in our community. Thank you.
Thank you, David Smith, Mayor of Haverhill. So to learn more about the Knife Angel, its significance and the motivation behind its creation, please join me in welcoming Clive Knowles from the British Ironworks Centre.
Hello, Haverhill. So yes, I'm from the British Ironworks, and I just wanted to give you some context. So the Angel was created, or the project was started in 2014, 10 years ago now. So we saw a documentary, it was a BBC documentary. The police were under some severe criticism, London police this was, over all of the incidents with knives being used on the London streets. We thought it'd be a great idea if we could possibly create a national monument from the blades. We approached the Home Office agreed, and all police forces, of which I think there are 43, all contributed as did Suffolk. So there are blades on here from Suffolk. We expected that the deliveries would come in small bins, but actually the first delivery arrived in a builder's skip. And the builder's skip was from Shropshire, my county, very similar to this county, quite rural. So that was a real shock. Now we're metal workers. We'd never done anything like this before. When the skip was emptied, we realised that these blades weren't bare. Most of them were in contamination tubes with hazard warnings on them. They were already covered in blood. Though all of those blades had to be disinfected and sterilised before we could use them, we decided that we would try and create the monument out of 100,000, but by the time each force had delivered, which probably took over 2 years, we'd probably got 1 million blades at work that we never used. 100,000 was a drop in the ocean. The Angel was only ever created to go to London. Halfway through the build of the Angel, we had a phone call from what was then Boris Johnson's office, the Mayor's office, to say, stop talking about this Angel coming to London. It's not going to come to London. What would the Japanese tourists say? They're here to tour, to visit the UK. They're not going to feel very safe if they see an Angel made of blades. What does it say about the UK? Well, I say it says an awful lot about the UK. It says that we're grasping the nettle and we're dealing with our problems, not hiding from them. And can I just say, one of the major things I'm here to do is salute you, because there are many towns and cities that won't host the Angel. Yes, it's done 50 now, over 50 now, zigzagging all over the UK, but there are still many cities, including London, that will not host because they do not want to address these difficult subjects. So I am here to salute Haverhill for grasping that nettle and dealing with it head on. I did want to say to you that very often it's missed, that the actual Angel is a national memorial now, that there are over 250 blades on that Angel that are inscribed with messages of love and forgiveness and regret from 250 different families that all came to the ironworks in Shropshire to inscribe a blade. And then those blades were applied and welded to the Angel. So it is something very special now. I'm personally very disappointed that 10 years on, we're still trying to organise the tour of the Angel, you know, the cranes, the vehicles, the haulage. It is a difficult job. This problem is still increasing. It isn't in regression or in decline. So more and more needs to be done. We had a phone call from Darryl that I had lost a child. That's why it's here. All of your appreciation needs to go to that gentleman, otherwise it wouldn't have been here at all. Just out of interest and as a sort of challenge to the police here, we were visited during COVID by Greater Manchester Police, who said, look, you know, we're the second biggest constabulary in this country. We want something special. And we said, well, look, this has taken us so long and it was so drawn out that we're never going to want to do this again. They said, we said as I think, a flippant remark that if they gave us the firearms, that we would do it. So during COVID, unexpectedly, and we were in complete shock, a 7.5-ton lorry of firearms arrived at the ironworks in Shropshire, and we used the COVID shutdown period to build a bumblebee. The Manchester people feel that they are the worker bees of the country. Personally, I'm from the Midlands, and the Black Country feel that they're the same. So I don't know, there's a quarrel there. But we created a magnificent bumblebee out of blades and firearms. It's magnificent. And that doesn't require hauliers or cranes. And it's free on loan to come here for you guys to see, because it is inspiring, and the children and youths who desperately want to know where all of those firearms and knives have come from. So it's a great educational tool to follow on from this if the police want to have it here. Anyway, thank you for having the Knife Angel, and thank you for being brave.
I'd like to thank Clive for a lot of information and where that's come from. It's fantastic. We now come to a deeply poignant and emotional part of the ceremony, as we prepare to hear from Harley's parents, Daryl Barfield and Bernice Jaggard. It's important to recognise the courage it takes to share their story. Their words will not only reflect the unimaginable pain, but also highlight the enduring impact of such a loss on a family and a community. We're all here tonight because of Daryl's determination to bring the Knife Angel to Haverhill in honour of his son Harley. His dedication is the reason this event is taking place. With that in mind, I would like to invite Daryl to the stage to share his thoughts and memories with us. Daryl, we are very grateful for your strength and willingness to speak tonight.
Good evening, everybody. From the bottom of my heart, I would like to thank everybody here today, the community of Haverhill, every single person that has helped in some way, big or small. You have made it possible for this Knife Angel to be here in this market square today. I want to pay a special tribute to my little brother Lee, who got on board with this project in April when my mental health was declining. He tragically lost his life on the 22nd of May. The pain of losing my son and losing my little brother crushed me more than myself and for the family. Words cannot describe. Thank you, Lee. I love you, I miss you, and I hope you and Harley are looking down on us all today. I would like to say a special thank you to Brian and Diane Freakley. With their help, Haverhill has now got their first bleed kit. I hope it's never needed, but if it is, it might just save a life. Knife crime has taken so many young lives, and now this includes my beautiful boy's life, Harley Reggie Barfield, aged just 16. Harley was a beautiful blue-eyed boy. He was energetic, happy, funny, caring, helpful, respectful and loving. I miss you so much, son. Harley was stabbed multiple times right here in Haverhill on the 9th of January 2023. He died on 11th of January due to his injuries. No one should ever have to witness the horrors of those 2 days. No parent should have to witness their child taking their last breath. Life really did stop for me that day. In this crowd, we are joined by Menely Hotwood. Her son, Tommy Jones, also lost his life to knife crime. Yet another life, just like Harley's, ended well too soon. So many lives eased, their whole lives ahead of them. I know this angel's visit won't stop knife crime, and it will not solve it. But with laws in place, because the latest ban does not go far enough, a more early infantination and education and communities continue to come together. And if we ask the question, what and who are influencing our children, then only then might we start to see a real reduction in knife crime. Maybe one life will be saved. Maybe one family will be saved from having to go through pain and suffering that our families, Harley's friends and this community had to live through. Prison or death are the only two outcomes. If you make a decision to use a knife, and when you make that decision, you are not only destroying your own life, but you are choosing to destroy so many other people's lives, including your own family and friends. Come on. Sorry. It will never be cool to carry a knife. Never. We all have choices. Choices to speak up. Choices to ask for help. Choices to be better people. We all want to be able to live safely in our communities. We all want to be able to go to work, to school, to a shop, to a park, and be able to make it home safely. To live out the dreams that we all have as children, something Harley doesn't get to do now. I want to thank you all once again for coming here today. I hope that you all take something away from today and from the 30 days that this angel was here. And I hope that my son Harley, in his memory and his legacy, will live long after this angel departs. I love you, son. Rest in peace, Harley Reggie Barfield, Forever 16. Thank you.
Thank you, Daryl, for your moving words. Could we all just take a moment and reflect in silence, please? Can we please now welcome Bernice Jaggard to the stage?
Good evening to you all. My name is Bernice Jaggard, a mother of 4 wonderful children, Destiny, Jack, Harrison and Harley. Last year on the 9th of January, our lives changed forever. My baby boy Harley Barfield, aged just 16 years old, headed to the shops to buy some sweets at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. He never made it there. Unbeknown to Harley, another boy aged 16 had decided to end my boy's life on that day. He had researched and planned his attack and laid in wait. Harley was stabbed 12 times by an everyday kitchen steak knife. So many lives have been affected by Harley's killing alone. Harley's family, friends, children and members of the public that witnessed the attack. And countless emergency workers, police, paramedics, doctors and nurses, just to name a few. Many people have been left with major traumas and PTSD. The community of Haverhill felt the impact too and came together, which was a real comfort to us in our darkest of days, for which we are eternally grateful. Thank you, Haverhill. Today I stand here and ask you to all come together again. With the arrival of the Knife Angel, we can all play our part in awareness and education in our community, whether that be around the dinner table, on a car journey, in schools, at work or group settings. These much needed conversations can and should take place anywhere and everywhere. Knife crime is becoming an epidemic in society and on our streets. So let's get talking, and who knows, your words may just make someone make the right decision to put down their knife and save a life, possibly even their own. We educate our kids on road safety, stranger danger, online safety, all for awareness and protection. It's now time we educate them about the danger of knives and the truth about knife crime. Here's just a few statistics to think about. Who is most likely to carry a knife in the UK? They are young men aged between 12 and 25. Could it be your friend, your son, your brother? It is often because they do not feel safe and could also be due to peer pressure, not having a full understanding of the legalities of carrying a knife or the dangers. What are the knife crime rates in the UK? According to latest figures, the number of knife-related offences in England and Wales was 50,500 in 2023 alone. Studies suggest that a lot of knife carrying is driven by fear and wanting to protect yourself from others who may also be carrying a knife. Self-defence or self-protection are not valid reasons to carry a knife. This choice could have serious consequences for that person. Many children do not know how or where to report knife carrying for fear of reprisal. This needs to change with anonymity for those reporting it. These tragedies can happen to any family, anywhere. We are just one of them, and the devastation and pain is immense. My personal message to those that carry knives is to stop, think, and please put it down. Throw it away and never pick up another again. One moment of madness can impact so many lives and futures, including your own. Finally, I too want to give special thanks to Lee Barfield, Harley's uncle, who sadly passed away in May. Lee was the driving force behind the fundraising to bring the Knife Angel to Haverhill. He worked tirelessly with passion to make this happen. He would have been proud to have seen its arrival. Well done, Lee.
Thank you, Bernice. Again, we're honoured and inspired by your strength and willingness to share. If we'd all take a moment just to reflect on Bernice's words. Now I'd like to invite Reverend Max Drinkwater from St Mary's Church, who will now continue this period of reflection.
Thank you, Councillor Cox. It is a great privilege and honour in my role to be able to walk with so many people, so many of you, at times of celebration and times of tragedy. And of course, it was a great privilege to do that for Daryl, for Bernice, for the whole family at the tragic events which unfolded at the beginning of last year. We do that because in my role as a representative of the church, we feel that accompanying people in those moments can help to transform their experience. We're never going to say that something like happened to Harley last year can ever be called good, but hopefully we can take that opportunity to recognize the power, particularly of the community that draws together at times of tragedy. We've heard a lot about that community tonight, and it is wonderful to see so many here because you are obviously all touched by the power of this monument and the stories that have brought it here, because you recognize the power of that community too. That is why, as a church, we want to be involved with bringing the Knife Angel to Haverhill and to responding to it, to make the most of this opportunity, because I think this is a good opportunity for Haverhill to demonstrate that we are willing to think carefully about the culture surrounding violence, aggression, and the use of knives and other weapons, and to do so as a community. We're offering workshops in St Mary's for groups to come and engage with the Knife Angel together. And one of the things I talk about at that workshop is think about all those who are affected when the worst happens. Think of all those who draw together when a tragic event happens. The family, the friends, the schools, the police, the church, the different community groups. And now wouldn't it be wonderful if they came together before the worst happens? And that is the invitation today. That is why we are all here today, because we can come together to transform the experience of those who are tempted to violence, to hatred, to anger, before the worst happens. So can I echo that thanks that's already been issued from this stage for coming together? And if I or we in this community can journey with some of those who are struggling with the issues that the Knife Angel raises, then I pray that that can be a transformative and positive experience for us all. Thank you.
Thank you, Max. Please now welcome rapper and spoke word poet Kieran Latte, who is also a priest who works on the Triangle Estate in Ipswich.
Thank you for welcoming me. I came on Reverend Max's invitation, and I didn't know this story, so it's a privilege to share it and to hear it. It breaks my heart. It was happening as I was sitting there. It was breaking my heart. So I'm going to share with you a couple of songs that I've written that have come out of my own prayer and reflection, working in the context that I work in on Triangle Estate in Ipswich, which is not a stranger to the kinds of tragedies that you are talking about and that you are trying to do something about. We haven't got there in Ipswich yet. I hope that we will. Not in the way that you have. So thank you. And this first song is called Innocence. Innocence, rest in peace. R.I.P.
What the hell, man?
Yeah. R.I.P. Innocence, rest in peace. Look. Listen. They tell me the streets don't love and are only good for shells and blood, but I saw a man's face like a painting, treasure that moment, pain in the waiting, anguish played on a beat, it's a plague on a leash. Is that all that you see? Is that all that you see? I saw a woman lead like a diamond free, just despite the face of a tyrant. See the bright light, but the sightless slide to the side to a lie, the survival priceless. I took a breath and found words to speak. I can't speak for the least, but I speak what I see. Technicolor out the mud, but the mud still clings to the feet on a mountain seat. You're a king and a queen, but it's hard to believe, cause your innocence finds it hard to breathe. With a boot on the neck or a shank in the back, you're more than a victim. I know that you know that fact. I don't know all about you, but I see your beauty. Streets don't love, but the love on the streets ain't fleeting. Let the heart speak, let the eyes leak, let the mouth teach, let the soul preach, let the mind reach for the sky till it splits, and the eyes of the Lord come rest on a person who forfeits vengeance. Yeah, that's where innocence rests. That's where innocence rests. R.I.P. Innocence rest in peace. Yeah. R.I.P. Yeah. R.I.P. Yeah. Innocence rest in peace. Look. R.I.P. Listen. R.I.P. to the paradise lost when your sis got shot by the roadman's up. Saw hope drop when her eyelids shut. Yeah. R.I.P. to the peace when the streets put pain through a piece. The promise of release is a lie of the beast, it's a trap. You're no rat in a cage, but maybe you're weak when you're feeling strong, cause you've been chained by your rage and you know that it's wrong. But the stage that you're at, you're thinking that there's no escape, but you're wrong. Your hope isn't gone. Listen, your hope isn't gone. All I can do is offer the grace I see. I've seen it heal disease, I've seen it bring me freedom. You deserve more than a leash or the tear of a bullet release, but I don't know these streets. Yeah. All I can do is offer the grace I see. I've seen it heal disease. I've seen it bring me freedom. Yeah. You deserve more than a leash or the terror of a bullet release. But I don't know these streets, I just see you, right? Here I am, just a weak man, fool enough to think his words could stand like a light in the dark. And maybe that spark might turn to a flame I can dream. That strain I sing is the pain yet mixed with hope. That shame yet healing broken things. Desperate crying on my knees, please help man grow some wings. Fly out the fire, plunder them fools who set up the pyre. When my God punished sweet like papaya, that's just desserts for buffing that pride up Babylon down. Bring me the flame, shout down the walls, bring in the rain. I kneel myself down and I wait in the silence. These hands weren't made for violence. Yeah.
Yo, free like, what the hell, man?
Our hands weren't made for violence.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks be to God.
So this next song is called Burden, and I'll let it speak for itself. Yeah. This is how I pray for you, man. Yeah, listen. I have a burden in me. I have a yearning in me. I have a burning in me. I got the learning in me. Draw it, that's curtains for me. Cut me, I'll bleed it straight from the veins, and the heart that beats with the pain of 1,000 rhymes will pump it straight on the floor. This is an anthem of my longing and a warning. Look, young G's, listen. Look, I know what it's like when you've been discarded. That blast was heartless, puff, snort, smoke it away, but the lasting listless passes, and the past is never really past tense. Walk with a bot, but you grip that knife real tight till your knucks go right like a face that you never should have seen in the morgue. I don't want to bury you, dog. I don't want to take your funeral outside making numerals. I don't want to see you waste your mind on grind for a man who don't really care if you live or you die. Life is more than a joke, or a wisecrack, or a footnote. Love is more than a hoax. Trust is more than a cloak. Buried deep in the burden lies impossible hope. An empty grave, keep your grave empty till you're aged, ripe and full of years. Do you know God holds your tears? Do you know God bears your fears? Cruciform, crucible he formed, that weight he held might crush your throat, but he gave his life to give you scope for freedom. Dealing, healing, known by a friend who can't be stolen by stray shots or dark ops, or a man who gives more shots than a toss. I know what it's like when you long for your last breath. Gang signs and bloodlines don't make lifelines. Ties might blind you, rob you, bind you. Kindness passes by with a tear in a eye. No end in sight. If you end this life, will it end your life in a chalk outline? If I spit this rhyme, will it change a damn thing? Am I beat in the air when I'm casting my cares? Do you hear, are you there? This war hasn't got any sides, and the cost ain't fair. This war hasn't got any sides, and the cost ain't fair. But listen, I know a man who brings back life from the dead. Time rolls up for souls left inert in the dirt, perforated with a hole in the chest. Blood flows back to the wound at the end of the day. With the end of the days of the world, the grave will give up the pearls of those lost with no remorse. The curse of a violent end amongst violent friends is reversed by the king who once left for dead, now reigns in the heavenly course. The course of the cosmos rests on his word. No recourse or reprieve for the judgment decreed. Relief for the innocent under his wings, but blood on the man with blood on his hands, not washed in the blood of that innocent lamb. Please turn around. Yeah? Turn around.
I'd like to thank Kieran for a very powerful performance, and it's very much appreciated to make the travel and distance to come. Now, Clive Knowles and Lord Lieutenant will present certificates to recognise the contribution made by individuals and organisations in promoting community safety, raising awareness about knife crime and standing against violence in Haverhill. And they'll also be presenting a plaque. So if I could walk most to the stage, please.
So the first award and appropriately too, is for Darryl Barfield and Claire Smully.
Thank you.
The second is Bernice Jaggard. The next is Brian and Diane Freakley. Next is Lee Barfield. And there's one here for Samantha Lauren and Paige Warner. Haverhill Sudbury Community Policing Team. Lee Holloway. Marcus Buckley. Royal Air Force Cadets. Haverhill Arts Centre. Daniel Ward. Woodbridge Medical Services. There's a special reminder plaque here. This is a plaque for the town. It's not allowed to go onto McDonald's. Has to go on a civic building that you're proud of. But it's a reminder plaque that this isn't just for this month. This is an ongoing resistance fight, really, against violent behaviour. And it's an ongoing battle that we all have to put our shoulders to. So this is to be presented to the Mayor of Haverhill.
I think there's been a lot to take in tonight, but I'd like to thank you all for being here. Your presence and support are crucial in making a difference. I encourage everyone to get involved and ensure that this visit leaves a lasting impact and contributes towards a positive outlook for Haverhill. Please join us again on Friday the 27th for our departure ceremony. For updates and details on up-and-coming events, be sure to check the Haverhill Town Council's social media channels and website. Haverhill says no to violence. St Mary's Church will now ring the bells for 16 rings to signify the age of when Harley died. That is the end of the ceremony. I do appreciate you coming, and have a wonderful evening, and please enjoy the section.